Good morning. Welcome into your Wednesday edition of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith. Thanks for joining me here on Wednesday, April the 30th. Two more teams secured their spots in the conference semifinals last night, and now we know we're going to have two Game 6s on Thursday evening. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into the action from last night because it was a very, very, very entertaining night of basketball. Starting in Indiana, the Pacers hosting the Bucks in game number 5. The Pacers led the series 3-1, and they closed it out. But it's about how they closed it out here. They trailed by 4 points in regulation with 53 seconds to go and trailed by 7 points in overtime with just under 40 seconds to go. The Pacers closing out the Bucks season on an 8-0 run over that final 34 seconds of overtime. Nembhard with the 33-foot three. Tyrese Haliburton making a layup off of a steal, and then another Bucks turnover as Tyrese Haliburton puts the game on ice, hits a driving layup with just over a second to go in the game, advances the Pacers onto the second round where the Cavaliers await them this weekend. Game 1 of that one starting up on Sunday. Over to Boston where we find our second team that moved on to the conference semifinals last night, the Celtics, in dominating fashion, 120-89. It looks way uglier than it actually was watching this game last night. The Magic led by 2 at halftime. They went up by 4 early in the third quarter, and then the Celtics avalanche began. It was the first half all season that the Celtics did not have a single made three. No made threes in the first half. Still only down 2 at halftime. That goes to speak how dynamic the Celtics team is and the ways they can beat you. And then the third quarter, they just started pouring it in. How about halfway through, their first three went in from Jason Tatum. Tatum hits a second one, then Hauser gets in, Horford, Brown, everybody's pouring it on. Pritchard hits one at the start of the fourth. The Celtics win 120-89. They advance to the conference semifinals where they await the winner of Detroit and New York. Speaking of Detroit versus New York, talking about series who did not end last night, the Pistons and Knicks. Detroit walks into Madison Square Garden as a 7-point underdog, gets the victory, forces a Game 6 back in Detroit. They win 106-103. Cade Cunningham, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He's leading this Pistons team now to a Game 6. They keep their season alive, and I like their chances in Game 6, and so does Las Vegas. They've got them as a 2.5-point favorite Game 6 Thursday evening in Detroit. The Pistons have been in just about every game this series. The first game, the Knicks won by double figures. Every other game has been single figures, been very contested, very fun basketball to watch. You won't want to miss Game 6 Thursday evening. And then finally, late last night, Game 5 in a 2-2 series between the Nuggets and Clippers. This has been an outstanding series. Of course, we had that game winner from Aaron Gordon that evened the series in Game 4. And now Game 5, the Nuggets win 131-115. Just about led this one wire to wire. Nikola Jokic, another triple-double. Jamal Murray pours in 43 points. Russell Westbrook pours in 21 off the bench. Denver now has a chance to close it out in Game 6, but it's back in L.A. I like the Clippers to win in L.A. and force probably our only Game 7, I'll say. I don't know if there will be a Game 7 in one of those 3-2 series. I think the Pistons could force a Game 7, but I like the chances here for the Clippers to force one a lot more. Moving into tonight's games, 2 more Game 5s on deck, where the team who only has 1 win in the series is favored in both games. Starting in Houston, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. The Warriors traveling on the road to take on the Rockets. Houston, 4.5-point home favorites as Golden State leads the series 3-1. They'll be looking to close this one out and move on to the second round. I like Houston to force a Game 6, though. I think this one's a little bit more interesting. Been a very fun series, very up and down, very back and forth. Exciting stuff to watch here. Once again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Then your late night game coming to you from Crypto.com Arena. LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers with their backs against the wall now as the Timberwolves lead the series 3-1. They need to get a big-time home win here. They're 5.5-point favorites over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tip-off for this one, 10 p.m. Eastern, also on TNT. So be sure to dive in, check out all that Game 5 action coming for you tonight. 2 Game 6s coming for you tomorrow. I'll be back to preview those then. And that will wrap up today's episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith. Thanks for joining me here. Don't forget to throw me a follow on X at DaveSmithNBA for all the latest news, coverage, updates, highlights you need to know about the NBA playoffs and everything going on in the world of basketball. Once again, thanks for joining me here on Hoops Talk with Dave.